I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Meeting was posted the 14th day of May, 2019 at Herrings Lake Ripley Inn, Oakland Town Hall, Cambridge Post Office, and on the town website. It's also emailed to the Jefferson Daily Union for publication on Friday, May 17th, or for the Friday, May 17th edition. Any public comment on items not on the agenda? If not, let minutes show that all are present except Ted Bradney has an excused absence. You've all had a chance to review the minutes from Tuesday, April 16th meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from the April 16th meeting as written.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the minutes from the Tuesday, April 16th meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I have one correction I've seen here in Section 3, public comment. A spelling of our new lake chairman or lake manager is spelled incorrect. Best's last name is spelled G-E-H-R-E-D.
Oh, got the E and R change around, huh?
Where is that?
So in
Item 3.
Item 3, our
Garrett.
new lake manager, her name is Beth Garrett, and it's G-E-H-R-E-D. Other than that, I would entertain.
Anything else? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Now we approve the minutes from the May 8th, 2019 special board meeting. Any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 18th special meeting.
May 8th.
I'm sorry, May 8th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the minutes from the special meeting on May 8th. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Discussion and possible action on the Cambridge EMS Cannonball Run. Every year we get invited to participate in that. We've never budgeted for it, but I thought it was important you saw that and got the dates down. But if there's any thought of being a sponsor, now would be the time for discussion.
I would say, so noted, that's what I would say.
Okay. Any other comments?
No.
Okay, then somebody make a motion to not sponsor.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to not be a sponsor in the Cambridge EMS Cannonball Run. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item is discussion and possible action to rezone surveyed Lot 1 and 2 of parcel number 022-0613-31324-000, 2 and grant a conditional use permit to put up a greenhouse. I think that should be zoning from R3 to R2.
Yes,
Correct? Yeah. Presently, the property is zoned R3, and to put a business on there, it needs to go to an R2. You want to step up to the mic and tell us what you're doing?
What we wanted to do was to start an aquaponics system and put up greenhouses to do so. So we basically had surveyor come in and put in one of our pastures, lotted a 1 acre plot for us to put in 2 greenhouses, starting with 1 up to 2, and then to be able to sell goods out of those greenhouses on
And
that
that's right on
property.
Shepherd Road.
On Shepherd Road, correct.
And is it next to the driveway? Is that,
It's approximately 300 feet about from the driveway.
okay.
North of
gonna
that,
have-
towards Dell,
I'm sorry?
north of the driveway?
North of the driveway, correct.
Toward Dell.
Toward Dell, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they had asked for a drawing. so.
Water volumes.
Thank you.
So you're probably going to need a separate driveway for that?
Yes, I would.
Parking area in front?
Yeah, a little one, not so, just more so, we're looking to have at least 5 to 6 employees, full-time there to run the systems.
But aren't
And,
you also going to have retail there?
Yes, just selling the goods off of, that come out of the greenhouses.
So there's going to need to be a parking spot for those people.
Okay, yep.
Where would you got the small greenhouse, the large greenhouse drawn in here on, and I take it the 226 by 218 is the 1 acre lot.
That's a 1 acre lot, correct.
Where are you going to do your retail out of? Just out of the greenhouse?
It'll be right out of the greenhouse.
Right out of the greenhouse,
Yep,
okay.
yep,
So the parking would have to be between the greenhouse and Shepherd?
yep, and there's already an existing, from one, kind of, it used to be a road that went in there.
Oh, a
for-
field road?
For farm equipment and stuff, because they pulled hay off that field and
Okay.
stuff. And there's a culvert, or existing culvert there too.
Okay, so there's an existing driveway there?
Correct,
Okay.
yep.
So you're just building the large greenhouse first, is that correct, or no?
We're not decided on which one. There's the 2 bigger ones. We're not decided yet on which one we're gonna use, just because the larger one does take a huge amount of water, just to start out with. We will have to put a well in. I thought we'd be able to pull off of what we had, but after doing some more research, it's gonna be more water off the get-go. So basically, like for the large scale commercial greenhouse, we'd pull 20,000 gallons initially right off the start, but then after that, it's only 3% volume per day from evaporation and plant use and stuff like that.
So are you going to drill another well?
Yes, I'll have to drill another well for us to do that.
You will need to show that
Okay.
as to where that goes when you go to
I
zone.
made a couple calls. I gotta get some quotes and find out what's gonna be the best for that.
Because your septic is from the house, is between the house and that large greenhouse. Looks like 135 feet to the greenhouse.
Yep, and it's up on a hill, actually. So there's, the house kind of sits up on elevation at the same grade as what the septic is.
Okay.
And then it drops down into the pasture area where we want to put the greenhouses.
And is the drain field down there then, below, or?
You know what, I don't know where that is. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think it is down below, though. I think it runs along the side of it to the left.
Okay, between the driveway probably and the septic tank, maybe?
Right.
Because I think county's going to want to know that as well,
Okay,
where that is, because that determines where you can put that well.
okay. Well, we had I should be able to pull that from our septic
Yeah, I would
inspection, I
think,
think.
yeah.
I can look at that. And there is no dumping water or nothing like that. Once the water is in, we don't get rid of water at all. Basically, it's just a continuous filtration system. And then all the bio that we get from the filtering, that all actually goes into a bio bed, we call it, And then we grow actually out of that bed too.
Okay.
So everything gets reused.
Well, before you go to the county, you're gonna need to determine where that drain field is.
Okay,
And you're also gonna need to show where you wanna put the new well.
okay.
I can't tell you the setback on a new well.
Yeah, I don't,
It's a certain, the well guy can tell you that.
okay,
So the first thing I would do is find out where that drain field is, and then have your, whoever does your well work,
yep, yep,
they can tell you where they can put the well.
okay.
But I take it the plan for the well would be on that lot.
It would be on the lot.
Yeah.
Yep,
I would think you'd be plenty far away unless that drain field goes down the hill and into that pasture area.
that's what I'm afraid of. I don't recall it did, but,
Well, I don't know either, but if it does, then you might have to rearrange that big,
yes, yes, and I can, I
large
have room to work there.
yeah.
I do
Yeah,
have
you've got a
room.
lot of room in the back.
Yep,
Are you planning on putting another driveway in off Shepherd Road?
There is a field road there now.
Oh, there is?
Yeah,
yeah, I would consider it a driveway, right, if it has a culvert and,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
and,
a legal driveway.
yep,
The other thing the county's probably gonna wanna know is, and I don't know how they determine that, but the number of parking, how large the parking area is.
sure,
Because you have to have a parking area for the employees. That can be in the back.
right,
But in front, where you're doing your retail work, they're gonna need to know, or probably wanna know how many parking spaces you're gonna have there.
okay.
Looks like you got plenty of room.
I do, it's just the best spot for everything
Yeah,
is kind
yeah.
of, I'm still kind of moving things around and drawing. I've got stacks of papers that,
Where is that driveway in comparison to the large greenhouse? Is it in the center, is it over here?
Okay, the driveway, it's right, actually halfway in between where this big greenhouse is and the lot line.
Okay, so right in here.
So it's right in there, correct. Yep,
Okay,
yep. And I think it shows on that plot too, there's a culvert right
Yeah,
there.
existing
Yep, so
culvert.
That's where the driveway is. Yep.
okay, okay. Yeah, so when you go to the county with this, I would draw in the parking area,
Okay.
draw in your drain field,
Mm-hmm.
where you're planning to put the new well. Chances are you're gonna wanna be fairly close to the greenhouses with that, so you don't have to pipe.
Closer to better, yeah.
Because you're gonna probably have to have a well house or something there as well, or somewhere.
Something, yep.
Well, and if it's a business, don't you need facilities too? A restroom and that, or don't you?
They're probably gonna require that.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Like a restroom, you would
Oh,
have
yes.
facilities?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd be able to get away with renting,
Porta
Like-
potty?
Porta potties.
porta potties, yeah,
least a
yeah,
sidewalk.
and a wash
Look at that.
station. I'll actually have the wash stations already in the
Okay.
greenhouse. Basically, I wanted to put this together so everything that I put there, of course, besides the well, can be taken out. And I want everything to be not permanent, so if we ever wanted to sell, or, if someone didn't want that, we can take it and sell it and remove it and put the land back to where it was without really
Yeah.
disturbing a whole lot.
That's a good idea. So your business would be basically just summer,
No, all year.
all year?
It'd be all year round production. Yep.
I looked at your summary and business plan. Nowhere in there does it really say how many potential customers you plan to serve.
I still
Do you
don't
have
know yet.
any
I
idea?
don't have any idea.
No
I
guess.
know, I do want to get I have been, talked with, my wife's school, is a school teacher, and she brought up the fact, and then also Matt from zoning, we talked about doing educational courses with the schools
Oh.
and having,
Great idea.
yeah, so, because it's very science-based.
Teacher.
So, and just educating some of the kids
Sure.
about, sustainable farming and
Yeah.
food and. And also, I'm working with some restaurants also to sell restaurants and some grocery stores, smaller grocery store chains and stuff too.
For the stuff you're growing there? Okay, any other questions?
I don't think so. They don't have to do anything with handicap or anything accessible, do you? Or you do?
I don't know, I don't know.
The parking stalls and,
The county's been really, real helpful in working with me, and those are all good. I've never even thought of that, and that'd be
Yeah,
another
may wanna
question
check into
I can go to them and ask them about specifics like that.
Everything's pretty much on ground level, so
It's pretty flat there,
that
yeah.
shouldn't be a major problem, I wouldn't think.
And for some reason, if we're not able to zone it commercial, we still would like to put up a greenhouse and do it anyways for personal use. So, I mean, we still, regardless, we'd like to do something there.
Yeah.
On, it just, on one level or another.
The planning committee recommended approval to the board. So what does everybody think?
I'm fine with
If, I'd entertain a motion if that's,
it. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to rezone parcel number 022-0613-1324-000 from A3 to, we're saying R2? Is that correct?
A3 to A2.
A3 to
I said R3 is
Okay.
A3. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Do we want to put the conditional use
That would
permit?
be, say again?
He needs a conditional use permit too?
Right. That's what your recommendation is correct? Okay, motion's made and seconded to recommend to the county to rezone lots 1 and 2 from A3 to A2 and grant a conditional use permit to put up a greenhouse. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mark.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, discussion and possible action regarding transfer of liquor license for Giovanni's Restaurant. Lee, you want to step up to the mic and tell us what your plan is?
So we're still basically fighting with the insurance company. They haven't even okayed us to take the building down yet. And we don't want to lose our liquor license, so our only option is to transfer the license to another property that I'm currently leasing in Oakland Township. And we are going to be putting up a 48 by 64 pole building on the back side of the building to do the U-Haul rental and stuff out of. It's already been approved by the state and the county, and everybody's already signed off on it. We're hoping to start construction on that in July. So once that building goes back up, we can transfer the liquor license back over to the property. But if I don't transfer it right now, and somebody else comes in here and wants the liquor license, they could basically take my liquor license. Then once we get done fighting with the insurance company, and if we put another building back up, we'd be putting a building up without a liquor license. So,
Are you planning to sell liquor out of that place on Cedar?
no.
'Cause I sure wouldn't want to see
No.
liquor getting sold out of there.
No, it's, all it is just, that's our only option, because
Yeah.
I can't put, the state won't let me put a liquor license on a burned building. And,
Right.
you know, I live in Edgerton, so I can't transfer it to Dane County. So,
Okay, so if your liquor license expires, what you're saying it will, we, as
End
a
of June.
town, what's that?
The end of June.
End of
End
June.
of June.
Yeah.
We don't have to reissue that liquor license to anyone else. So why do the transfer and transfer it back if we just,
according to what Chris said, you can't hold it for me.
oh, we can't
We
hold
can't,
it?
no,
No,
we-
if somebody came and requested that, we'd have to have a pretty darn good reason to say no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, so, no, we don't have the option of saying, no, we don't like
Yeah,
you, or
yeah.
we're holding
Or-
it for Lee, or whatever, we don't, that's an option we don't have. So the only option Lee has, short of getting that building up between now and the end of June, the new restaurant bar, which probably isn't gonna happen, is to do what he's planning to do.
yeah,
I just wanna be assured that we're not gonna have
Right.
liquor down there.
Right.
yeah.
But if we issue him a liquor license, why would you say that? I mean,
Well, I mean, yeah. We
Well,
have to
I
take
don't
his
know.
word for that one.
I mean, I don't know how close you guys follow the laws right now, but everything since Schimmel left office and the new people came in with this whole bar and liquor license thing. I mean, essentially right now, I could go downtown, rent a storefront downtown, not have a liquor license, say it's a party venue, and that it's basically like the wedding barns, and they're getting away with no liquor license at all, because it's not essentially open to the public.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm trying to do everything the right way and, you know, still keep my liquor license.
yeah, it just seems like a weird way of having to do it, but
I agree,
I
Jimmy.
I get what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Well, we can't leave it there on a burned-out building. That's where it starts.
yeah,
And then what are the options? Well, we can't hold it for Lee if and when he rebuilds. And there is an if in there, too.
Sure.
You know, if you don't get the right insurance settlement, you know, you may decide not to do that. Who knows?
yeah. We don't know what's gonna happen right now. Basically, the insurance company is offering us a quarter of what we were insured for. And I'm still paying $732 a month for insurance on that building that they won't let me drop. I can't take the building down. And I gotta keep paying the insurance on it. If somebody goes in there and somebody gets hurt,
Yeah.
I'm liable, but they won't let me take the building down. You know, I'm kinda in a catch-22 right now.
Is there any rules that we would have to follow for the new location to have a liquor license?
That we would have to
Well, that
follow,
we
or
would have
that
to
he
know
would have
about,
to follow?
well, that we would have to know about before we could issue the license?
Chris apparently
No,
talked to
yeah.
everybody up at the state.
Yeah, he called the state
Yeah.
on it, and this was this was what he came back from the state with as well.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, here the,
Yeah,
Yep.
he's.
Yeah, I read it.
So, I mean, that's short of saying, no, we're not going to do that, and you're going to lose your liquor license, that's the only other option we have. And frankly, I don't want to see that place, I want to see a new supper club go up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a shame not to have something
Yeah.
there.
We
If I-
really, I mean, what we're looking to do, if we can get what we want to do, is instead of rebuilding right in the existing footprint, we want to build a building into the hill there, and then the whole lower unit, or the whole lower part of it, would all be banquet area, so we can do weddings and stuff like that out there, down in the valley like Judd's used to do.
Yeah. And then your supper club would, or bar and supper club would be above.
Yeah,
You still thinking living quarters up at top then?
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Maybe,
you
maybe
know.
not, yeah.
I don't know. It would be if we did living quarters, it would probably be like side by side.
I see, okay, okay. Because you and I had talked earlier in the year, and that's one of the things we kind of talked about.
Yeah, it would be nice to do that, to be able to live there and have everything
Yeah.
right there, you know.
Okay, any other questions for Lee? Do you have any idea when the insurance company is going to settle? Or,
No, right now, they're not even returning emails till 3 or 4 weeks later at this point. I hired an independent appraisal company. They're saying that it could be sometime between August to December before it's settled.
Oh,
So, I mean, even if they say they settle in August, by the time we had plans drawn up and got it all through, would probably be December. So we wouldn't even be able to start construction till spring.
yeah. And when you put that pole shed up for the U-Haul, you're going to move your used cars over there too?
That would be the plan at some point, yeah.
But not right away?
Not right away.
You're going to
no.
continue renting that place on Cedar?
Yeah, even when I build that building, I'll still keep renting a place on Cedar, yeah.
Okay, but that's when you would probably transfer it back as well?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's where the U-Haul place is now, at the Cedar Road?
No,
No.
still
It's
at
at
Giovanni's,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, any other questions for Lee? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to allow the liquor license to be moved from W9298 US Highway 18 to N4051 West Cedar Road in Cambridge.
second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to allow Lee to transfer the liquor license. I don't have those addresses. Say them again.
Yeah, there.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I do have it. From W9298 Highway 18 to N4051 North Cedar Road.
Yeah, it would be unit number 8 on
Yep.
West
Yeah,
Cedar
okay,
Road.
unit number 8.
Yep.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Carried. Thanks, Lee.
Good luck, Lee.
Okay, it's 7:30. We will now be opening road bids. First one is from Tri-County. Okay, the first one is for Wolf Road from Tri-County in the amount of $115,684.48.
Say that again.
Pardon me?
Can you say that again?
$115,684.48. Next one is for Blue Jay Way, $66,426.94. Next one's for Oakland Road, $15,139.20. Next one is for Shepherd, and that's for 4,115 feet. $125,701.11.
For how, 4150?
4,115 feet. Marsh Road, $26,940. Next bid is from Payne and Dolan. First one is Wolf Road, $112,235.40. Next one is Blue Jay Way, $60,887.80. Oakland Road, $11,904. Shepherd, $110,822.70. And finally, Marsh, $23,399. Next one is from Wolf Paving. Wolf Road, $108,487. Blue Jay Way, $60,486. Oakland Road, $13,962. Shepherd, $117,316.75. Marsh, $25,850.50. Are all three contractors represented here tonight? I'm with Wolf. You're at Wolf, yes? Okay. We will not be accepting any bids for Blue Jay Way. At the time we put these out for bid, we were a little bit uncertain as to the ownership of that road. That has since been resolved, and that does belong to the village. But we would be happy to turn these bids over to the village if they decide to do it. If we take low bids for the 4 roads that we had identified, we'd be at about $260,000. Am I off on that, Jeff?
All right.
We can't do them all, right?
Well, we said that would be about the max that we'd want to spend. Any thoughts?
I got 250, did you say 246?
Around 260.
What?
Isn't it around
260?
260?
Oh, yeah, I said 256 roughly. Okay, yeah.
Got 220 on Shepherd and Wolf.
Right, and then 36 on the other two.
Yeah,
256 roughly.
yeah. Try to take one of these and throw it out. They're all in tough shape.
It would probably be Shepherd just because of the lack of traffic, that's all I would say, if you're going to throw any of them out.
I would agree.
I think the other three we got to do for sure, and then the question is Shepherd.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you
if,
think, Jeff?
If I was to throw any of them out, I'd throw Oakland Road out. And tie it all in with Oakland Pass and Oakland Road, you'd probably get a better deal on next year.
I want to do the whole thing.
Yep. Every time you can eliminate a seam or, you know, if you can do it.
There's Oakland Pass, and there's some areas I know are not in the best shape, but
Yeah.
there also isn't a whole lot of traffic on
Either one of them.
either of those roads.
Yeah.
But throwing Oakland out doesn't do a lot. for-
Right, I was just going to say, but I do agree with your comment, the
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
To probably,
But if I was gonna pick the roads that are in the toughest shape, I would say Shepherd and Marsh.
Yeah, I agree with that, too. It's hard to dispute that. I personally would like to have Marsh done. but
I
that's-
think
that's-
we got to get started on Wolf Road,
I agree with that.
because the next one right behind that is Park.
Yeah, I can't argue with that either.
And now Park, we might be able to just do an overlay, but Wolf is going to need to be ground. And that thing is rough, and we need to do both ends of that. I mean, we don't have money to do the whole thing at once, but
And you talk about volume, and we're talking about spending that money, Wolf, for sure, I'm okay with waiting on Shepherd. Get some of the busier roads done, but,
Sad thing is, we've been waiting on Shepherd.
I know.
well, I've been on the board 16 years, and that was one of the first roads 16 years ago we thought needed some work, and now if we wait much longer, it's going to be gravel.
Well, and where is his business going to be? On Shepherd?
That's on the other.
That's on the other
We're doing.
other part of it.
Right,
Okay.
from Erkey to the corner.
Okay.
And most likely, they're going to access that off of 12 and G.
Yeah,
Going off the
Yeah.
backside.
Yeah.
yeah, there won't be much of his traffic coming
Right.
in from the north.
Okay.
His traffic will be coming off of 12.
So for sure, Wolf.
I think we got to do them all.
All of them?
I think so. I don't know how we,
I don't know how Shepherd will last.
no, it won't. That thing's coming apart already.
I mean, we're gonna, as it is, we're gonna spend some money just to patch up until we can
Yeah.
get it fixed.
Let's do it. We don't have Blue Jay Way anyhow.
Make a motion, or should I?
You're the man.
I'll make a motion that we accept the low bids for Marsh, Oakland, and Shepherd from Payne and Dolan, and a low bid from Wolf Paving on Wolf Road. Somewhere or another, you give us a good deal on Wolf because the same name, or, yeah, that's what it was, huh? Okay.
Make it fire.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to accept low bids for Marsh, Oakland, and Shepherd from Payne and Dolan, and Wolf Paving for Wolf Road. Marsh Road in the amount of $23,399, Oakland Road in the amount of $11,904, Shepherd Road in the amount of $110,822.70, and Wolf Road in the amount of $108,487.
Before we vote, do we want to take Jeff's comment under, do we want to do Oakland this year, or do we want to wait to put it together with
Oakland Pass.
Oakland Pass?
Would take 11,000 off of that.
I mean, if he
Well,
makes a good point that you're going to have less, you do it
You're
all
gonna be less
together, you might even get a better bid on it overall.
Well, you can tie it in a lot better. That's a
Yeah, that way,
goofy setup.
yeah. Well,
It's
make a
$12,000
motion
bucks.
for the amendment then.
I make a motion that we
Amend the motion.
amend the motion and remove Oakland Road from the bids.
I'll second.
Okay, I'll call the question on the amendment. The amendment motion is to eliminate Oakland Road in the amount of $11,904. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, now call the question on the original motion, which now would be Marsh Road and Shepherd Road to Payne and Dolan, and Wolf Road to Wolf Paving. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now on Marsh, you're going to build that up first?
Yep.
And it's just going to be an overlay over the top of?
Yep,
Okay,
just in the valley.
yeah.
And
About
all the culverts
900.
have been replaced already.
Pardon me?
All the culverts have been replaced already.
Oh, you have, okay. Two,
3.
three in there?
Or when we went from a 12-inch to a 24. So as we were raising it, we went to a 24.
Is there any way we can petition the county, what do they call themselves, water district, to clean that ditch out to the south so we get rid of that water?
I don't know. I think you'd have to deal with DNR as well.
Well, the county would.
Yeah. My guess is DNR would put the brakes on. Because it's, natural habitat for all
Yeah.
the geese and muskrats and frogs.
Okay,
I'm not a fan of muskrats.
Can I copy this?
sure, you can have it. Yeah, you'll need these as well.
One question. Will you guys do your own contracts, or should we send one? Because I pretty much just use Medici. Should I send a contract?
How have we done that in the past, Jeff? They send a contract and we sign it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Send it to you.
We'll note, yeah. Well, send it to the office,
Okay.
and then that requires a chair signature.
Yeah. Okay, good, good, good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I suppose you just want to start next week?
Well, it's not gonna rain for a while, right?
Okay, next item on the agenda is discussion and possible action regarding the house located at N4045 County Road A. Ms. Schreier.
Good evening. For those of you who I haven't met, my name is Nicole Schreier. I'm with the law firm of Newberger, Griggs, Sweet and Schreier out of Lake Mills, and I represent the property owners at N4045 County Highway A. We received the list from the town at the last meeting on May 8th. My clients have been working very hard to get rid of some of the larger items of personal property, some of the refuse on the property, and some significant landscaping. So that's our update as of tonight. We would ask that the town board, again, provide a list, I think for the next 30 days, of items that the town feels are next on the list to tackle, and obviously continuing with what they've already been working on.
Okay. We had asked at the last meeting that they provide some financial information for Attorney Bailey. You got it?
And I did receive that late
Okay.
today. Unfortunately, with my schedule and Tom's schedule, we were not able to get together before the meeting.
Okay,
I have it. It is, of course, confidential, basically.
Right.
But I have seen it, so it was delivered to me as promised.
okay.
I'm sure that Attorney Schreier will agree it's tight.
Tight.
Tight. But
Well, you're doing your own work, basically. From here, it's going to get a little more expensive, I'm sure, when you get inside and get electrical hooked up and that kind of stuff. I did put together a list of items, and I'll give it to you. Actually, I can give you a couple copies of that, so they got one too.
Thank you.
I got one extra here if you need it. For you to review. It might not be realistic to get all of that done in the next 30 days, I understand that. But we would assess at the end, at the next board meeting, as to the progress, and determine at that point what we need to get done. I was a little disappointed the first week after our meeting. I drove by twice a day, almost every day, and nothing happening, and then all at once the last 4 or 5 days, things started happening, so I'm pleased about that. That was good. We got the big stuff out of there. There's stuff there yet to get out, but I think maybe you can get that done as well. Probably requires a dumpster at this point to get rid of some of that stuff.
one of the things that Attorney Schreier shared with me was that the electrician is prepaid. Is that correct?
That
Has
is-
been paid
Yeah,
already?
I've already got him taken care of.
So, while I would say the finances are tight. Your point is well taken that they're doing a lot of the work, but one of the professionals at least is paid for.
Paid for.
So that was helpful.
That will require a permit to,
I
you know,
read that.
yeah. So my suggestion, this isn't a requirement on your part, but my suggestion, when you get Greg out there or Troy, whichever one comes, take him upstairs and walk through and let him tell you what it's going to take to make it habitable.
He's done that already.
He has?
Mhm.
Okay. When was that?
November,
Okay, when,
or December. excuse me,
December, yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking that was in November, but
Okay.
December.
yeah, okay. Because stay in close contact with those folks. They'll give you help on what needs to be done.
I just want to make sure that I understand where the town's coming from with the new list. Certainly, the goal is 100% of the items here are to be completed in the next month. However, you would entertain, if there's a substantial compliance, you'll entertain discussion on that.
Yeah.
Did I, okay.
Yes. That's why I put that last statement in there, because I know you're doing the work yourself. If you were hiring contractors to do that, that would probably be easily done. But being you're doing your own work, you may not be able to get it all done. But she's going to have to crack the whip, you know.
All right, is anything else that we can provide tonight?
Has anything been done on the inside of the house so far?
I was told that too.
Yeah, my advice to my client was focus on that outside
Right.
list.
Right thing to do.
And so, no.
Okay.
That's the right thing to do. And I take
The
it you're
neighbors
going to
see.
get some shingles over that plywood you got on there.
It's temporary screwed in because we still have to replace some of the wood inside.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
tore all the bad stuff out.
Yeah.
We're looking into metal roofing.
Yeah,
Oh.
for the whole thing.
Okay, that's-
He gets everything at cost. He works for a lumberyard.
Okay. Yeah, that would be
Subs-
a good solution for that. And a lifetime roof. Okay, anything
I
else?
just want to mention that, of course, it isn't really 31 days or 30 days. It's the next meeting.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's,
So June 18th,
Okay.
yes.
I just wanted to make sure that
Right.
we're clear on
Mhm.
that the deadline for the next review would be the next meeting.
I saw that.
I know we had talked in 30-day
Yeah.
increments, I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, well, board meetings are typically 30 days apart, but not always. We hold it the
The third Tuesday of
third Tuesday of every month, so however that falls.
Understood.
Any questions from you?
I don't have any.
No, it's still showing, much improved from the outside anyway, as you drive by. It's much improved from the outside when you drive by.
Oh, yeah, I know. And we
I'm
just
glad
took
you got
another
that.
load out today. So it's even better today.
Yeah.
Took us a while to get rid of that trailer. I mean, that was what was holding us up. We couldn't get that big stupid trailer out of there. So,
Yeah,
we
I
were
think-
doing stuff you just couldn't tell because that trailer was
Yeah.
blocking everything. It's done.
Okay, good.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you agree to this, would you date that and initial it, sign it, or whatever, so we got a record of it here?
Oh, sure, absolutely. We'll do that before we leave.
Okay, good.
I can still share privately, if you would like, for me to, the financial information
Right.
that I received from
Okay.
the town. That was kind of the,
We can stop down to the office to do that.
Or can you just drop, did you bring it with you?
I did, I could leave it,
Can't
You
hear.
just gotta leave it here.
Oh, okay,
just so, yeah.
yeah, okay. Well, thank you for coming too,
Yeah,
Mary.
thanks, Mary.
Appreciate that. Okay,
You don't need a motion, anything there?
no.
Okay.
Okay, next item is discussion and possible action regarding the assessor service contract submitted by J.D. Pounder Incorporated. I didn't see anything different in there, John, than what was in the last one.
That is correct. It is an
Yeah.
Except the dates were changed.
Yeah, the dates are changed, and we didn't get our significant discount, which I thought maybe we'd get because we're such nice guys.
Gene, you're absolutely correct. You are very, very nice people.
There you go. People, yes, right.
But we didn't give any volume discount.
No volume? Okay.
I'd make a motion that we approve the assessor services contract submitted from J.D. Pounder, Inc.
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the assessor service contract submitted by J.D. Pounder, Inc. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Do you want me to sign the contract now?
Yeah, I'll sign it, you sign it, we got it done. What is it, 26? 21st?
Yep.
21st.
Copy's fine.
Do you want a original signed? You can have my copy and sign it. Duplicate.
You don't want the check now, too, do you?
It's already,
It's in the mail.
Actually,
Is it?
that one we'll sign.
You
both
did
of
get it
them.
now. I was joking.
I like that in the mail business.
Okay. That's yours. Did Jeff left.
I'm just sitting in.
I'll see.
Okay, next item is discussion and possible action regarding the maintenance and inspection agreement from Home Backup Systems. As you know, we've got a backup generator here, and we typically have them come in and do maintenance on it every year. Well, they would give us a better deal if we signed a 3-year contract with them.
Are we happy with them?
Yeah, they've done it for us pretty much every year. And if I remember, I thought it was, it is $225 a year, that's right. And now it would be $185, so you're saving about $35, 25, 30,
But
$40.
they're still allowing us to make that yearly payment instead
Yes,
of
right,
upfront total.
Right.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
All right,
Yeah.
if you're happy with them,
Really?
let's do it. I'll make a motion to approve the home backup system quote here for 3 years of $555,
Or
or an annual payment of $185.
what should it be? Should we do the annuals?
Probably be better for record keeping.
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
it?
think so. Do 185 a year.
For a 3-year contract,
Yeah.
totaling
As long as it's the same,
$555.
you might as well
Right.
just do it annually.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make my motion then to pay $185 annually for 3 years.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the maintenance and inspection agreement from Home Backup Systems for our generator in the amount of $185 a year for a 3-year contract. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'll let you fill the balance of this out, okay?
Okay.
I'm waiting for Bruce's report, but I don't
It's not on the
I don't
list.
see it on the list, Bruce. I don't know what happened.
We'll get him in here.
He has nothing to report.
Hold tight, Bruce.
We'll get him in here. Next item is discussion and possible action to increase the credit limit on Lori Moss's town credit card. Ted and I talked about this before he left on vacation, and frankly, I would just as soon leave that credit limit at 1,000, but I would like to get a credit card for Chris as well with $1,000 limit on.
That's what I recommended.
You too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't want it to, mine to go up.
Is there a time where you see that you may go over that 1,000, or what were you guys thinking?
Not if we both had one.
If you both had one? Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and we did exceed it a couple times when we were doing the information upgrade in the office, because we were buying that stuff. But typically not. I mean, it's more for office supplies and that kind of stuff.
The only time would be when we were both going to classes, but if he had his own and I had my own,
Right.
that would eliminate that problem as well.
Well, plus he can't take yours to the
Right.
classes,
Correct.
because we need to get him in the treasurer's school again, and you're going this summer, so there's costs involved there. So that's my recommendation. Anybody have a problem with that? If not,
No
then I
problem.
would entertain a motion to that effect.
So you want a motion to get Chris's own credit card with a limit of $1,000?
Right.
Okay, I'll make the motion. And to keep Lori's the same?
Right.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded that we get Chris a town credit card with a credit limit of $1,000, and those are at Hometown Bank, correct?
Correct.
At Hometown Bank. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Okay, now we're going to hear from Bruce.
Is Jimmy the one who started that motion? Okay, sorry,
Yes.
wanted to make sure.
Good evening, everybody. I thought you were gonna forget all about me, I was gonna slither on out.
I didn't forget.
Rats.
There's been activity.
Things are going well in the department. Boat patrol will be active starting this weekend. We're gonna be, boats are already down to Lake Ripley Marina, so we're ready to get those out and start doing our enforcement out there. We put a letter into the Cambridge News, you may have seen it, in the letters to the editor. Again, we're part of the Click It or Ticket campaign and OWI enforcement with a bunch of agencies within the state. That we've taken part of in the last several years. So we're back up and doing that again. Captain Tome took care of that for me. He's really big on that up in Waterloo as well, where he's a lieutenant up there. Other things going on, range is going well, guys are getting qualified. We haven't done our certification. We won't be doing that for a few more months for our annual certification for firearms. The county did theirs starting today, but that's their program, not mine anymore. So I'm happy to report the guys are doing well on that portion of things. Sent a couple guys to different schools here, some freebies that were out there. Captain Tome went to an officer-involved shooting in the aftermath within the agency and within the community. So I'm looking forward to hearing his review of that. It sounded pretty good. And I sent our boat patrol guy, Nate, to a Colonel Grossman. He gives a presentation called, off the top of my tongue, I was just talking about it. Dealing with knowing your environment and knowing who's around you, being aware of situational awareness, and just helping keep officers alive on the street, making you aware of what's going on, and don't get complacent. And for Nate, I think this was a very good school for him, being a young officer, and he's still asking when can he start getting trained for the road, and I explained to him, well, it's going to be until the end of summer after I can get you and Captain Tome and Sergeant Warner together and set out a schedule, because it's going to take 9-10 months to get him trained fully for the road. Typically, field training program is weekly. Every day you're with a field training officer, and you're doing it for 16-18 weeks, depending on the agency. For us, I don't have that luxury, so the bulletproof mind. See how my mind works? That's the one that Colonel Gross was talking about. Things come to me strange. So he's chomping on the bit, but I keep the reins on him. He'll be out there. Sergeant Warner's all gun-ho now for the boat and to be out there with Nate, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that grows. Boat launch, we got the new money box up. I love it. It beats reaching down underneath that. And we got the work done for a very reasonable cost. So I'm happy about that, and it looks just great down
Yeah,
there.
looks good.
So
There's no bugs in the money. There's no bugs in the money, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm not sure centipedes and other things in there to freak me out. I'm not getting fishing hooks shoved in my hand anymore, which is kind of nice. I do appreciate that, and dirty diapers.
Oh,
I can tell you some of the things I found down there. Other than that, I had a question about the boat launch itself and the parking spaces. Those lines are getting pretty well used and abused. Is there a possibility that those can get repainted again anytime before we get too far into the season, or is that kind of a wild goose chase on my part?
I think if you talk to Jeff, he has a striper.
He does,
Yeah,
okay.
so if you talk to Jeff, he'll get it done
Okay.
for you.
So I know he's got a lot on his plate with
Yeah.
culverts and roads and everything else, and I hate to say, hey, Jeff, how'd you like to do me a favor?
Well, I think he's, I don't know, I don't
Too bad
remember
right now,
for
is
sure, but it seems to me he had like 9 or 10 culverts he was replacing this spring, so.
I'll approach him cautiously.
Yeah, but I mean, I know he'll get it done for you.
Yeah.
You just have to talk to him about it.
Okay. There is some changes as far as the drug task force goes. Detective Sergeant Gray, as you may be aware, the county is losing 3 captains, all retiring this year in the next few months, actually, within. And so they had a promotional thing going on, and 3 sergeants have now been promoted to captains. Sergeant Gray is going to be the captain down in the jail division. I don't know yet who will be the next promotion to detective sergeant in charge of the drug task force. I don't anticipate any major shakeup because of it at all. It is what it is at that point. So I think things will be going well there. I had a couple investigations going on here, both busted on me. There was nothing in our work that, from the informants that were calling us anonymously, there was nothing there. So those kind of petered out on me. I was kind of sad because there was one I was really interested in,
Yeah.
on a more of a personal note. But so it is what it is. But other than that, life is good, as I always say. It's a great day to be alive.
Might put a bug in the officers' ears. I've been getting a number of complaints of speeding on Ripley Road.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was just gonna
Just
say.
gonna say it.
I just witnessed it the other day. I was
Okay.
coming in from the west side, and I'm not sure how that guy made the curve, but he had to be going 60, 65 miles an hour when he hit that curve down on the west end.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was a little afraid. I slowed down because I thought he's coming across, but he never, he stayed in.
I should be able to get a little more patrol in there. Officer Brazzoni will not be working the boat patrol. He'll be assigned to the patrol division, and he's going to be working days.
Okay.
And I will have him assigned to that. And I'll leave it at that.
Well,
So-
Ted had brought up a point, when we were doing the road, about putting these speed
Speed bumps?
caution signs.
Oh, okay.
Those flashing.
Oh,
The
yeah.
solar ones?
Yeah, he looked into
Solar
it.
ones, I know Town of Lake Mills, Chief Miller, and I don't know where he got his from up there. I know City of Jefferson has them, some of the other communities I've seen them.
Yeah.
Cambridge has one on
Cambridge
Highway
has
12
one.
there. So,
I don't know if that would help or not.
yeah, I've got,
Chances are the kid that was going 65 that met me, he didn't pay any attention to it anyway.
or he looked up and went, I wonder how fast I can get that thing to read.
Yeah,
I can look to see what these things kind of cost, and in that, I think they're kind of expensive from what I understand, but.
Ted did at the
Yep.
time, and I don't recall what they were. But probably the area you have the most trouble with is on the west side,
West,
where
yeah.
it's that straight shot.
Right by the lake itself, there
Yeah.
by the A-frames, yeah. That was when I was still working at the county and on the motorcycle. I love parking the bike down there, because no one's looking for a guy on a Harley.
Yeah.
And you light them up as.
Well, they might not be looking for a guy in a pickup either.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
There were spots are on both ends. And the yellow lines made a big difference, at least down by
Yeah.
my house. I mean, it really tries to keep them in that lane, but they still do pick up speed through there. It's like amazing. Yeah, if we're gonna do something, I think, yeah.
Well, now we're gonna have a lot of little kids coming across
Yeah,
right in
Summer's
that
coming, and
area.
I'm aware of that, once our, tourist base starts showing up here for their summer homes and coming up to enjoy the lake, that's gonna increase traffic up on that road as well. So there'll be I know people will notice a higher volume of traffic. It may not be speed related, but it's gonna be a volume, and they're gonna associate that with speed. But, we'll get down there and see what we can do to,
yeah.
put a curb on things, so to speak.
Well, just a presence
Hmm.
You know, knowing that you're not going to be alone
Yeah,
when you're
and
driving.
I don't know what the sheriff's department's doing with their motorcycle unit. They're having one guy that's retiring another week, so they're losing him off the unit. I don't know how many officers they have left, because since I retired, with Dave retiring, I don't know what they've got left for motor officers, but I can throw a bug in the sergeant's ear over at the county and say, hey, if your guys on a bike want to come down and work a zone, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Come down and give us a hand, because like I say, cops always look good on a Harley, especially in your rearview mirror.
Any news on the sex offenders over here on?
They're minding their P's and Q's. And the 3 are still there. So nothing has changed over there. So as long as there's nothing going on to get my attention, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So when they start acting up, then my dander goes up. But,
Okay, anything else for Bruce?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha.
Thanks, Bruce.
You bet.
Okay, discussion and possible action regarding the contract for fire services from City of Fort Atkinson. Joy is going to a meeting tomorrow night at Koshkanon. And that's to discuss that contract. So
Okay.
I don't expect any action. Did you guys get a chance to look at what you went home with the other night? And did you have any concerns or questions, I guess, because I'll probably go over with Joy if I can.
It's basically whether we keep owning the vehicles ourselves or let them take over them and just pay a set rate.
Yeah, we own the towns, the 5 communities that are part of that, own part of the equipment. They own the brush truck, a tanker, one other, can't remember, but
was
there's
listed in here.
three items. And basically what Fort would do is they would take over ownership of them, and over the next 10 years, they would be reducing the rural contracts by the amount of money that they're worth. And then they would take over ownership, maintenance, all that stuff. And during this whole time, all we would pay is an annual fee, just like we do with Jefferson.
I think that makes more sense.
Sounded like
Well,
when
it
I read
does from a budgeting standpoint, because one of the things, I was at the meeting, when was that, Joy, 3 weeks ago maybe, with Darrell, and at the end of 10 years, and that's what this contract would be, during this 10 years, they're going to be building up a reserve, because at the end of 10 years, they have four units to replace in a 5-year period. Well, 10 years from now, if we get nailed with, a fire truck portion of a fire truck 4 out of 5 years out of
Right.
Fort Atkinson, we also have half of Cambridge as well. So, from a budgeting
We
standpoint.
probably have no money for roads if that's the case.
Yeah.
Right, that's probably right. But I think from a budgeting standpoint, it'd make it much easier.
Yeah, I agree.
It just depends on, not everybody's going to agree with that, though. And it,
They were at that meeting 3 weeks ago. I thought it's the majority rules
Right.
of the 5 communities. And Koshkanon probably got, they're the biggest bite of it. And of course, their share is the most too, but they got also the most people and the
Right.
most assessed value and the whole way through. So they kind of felt like they're taking a hit, but I think when they think about that and think about what it's going to cost them down the road, you probably in your own budget aren't going to be putting that reserve aside. We have a fire reserve here at Oakland, but I find out like Sumner, Koshkanon, those guys don't necessarily do that. So if they're not doing that, that first truck comes about, they're gonna be in a world of hurt. So it's gonna be an interesting meeting with, and that will be just the rural communities, that will not,
Right, it's
Darrell won't
not, the
be
chief isn't
there.
going to be
Right,
there.
chief is not gonna be there, so. Okay. So anything else that you guys saw in there?
So we'll have to put this on our next agenda then, too.
Yeah, we'll need that on it, because they're going to want, the city is going to want an answer by July 1 from the rural communities, so they can have their legal people put the contract together and get that out to us.
Okay.
Your meeting's tomorrow, you said?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 6.
Okay, next item, discussion and possible action on intergovernmental agreement with Cambridge. Really no action to take place here, but I did meet with
Mark?
Mark McNally, Ted and I both did, the day after our, either Thursday or Friday after we had our special meeting. And I broke the news to him, gave him the letter, and with Steve Zach's recommendations or interpretation of the IGA. And so he's going to take it up with this village people and see what they do. We'll probably need to have another meeting yet this year. The one we had just lately was a special meeting, so we would need to meet annually anyway, so.
I have one thing more with Fort Fire on their agenda is discussion of ordinance enforcement. I'm not quite sure what that is. Did they talk about that last time?
Yeah, it's for commercial fire inspection.
Okay.
They have it in Cambridge, they have it wherever. Commercial buildings need to be inspected by the fire people. The trouble is, the fire department themselves don't have any authority to enforce that, an action on it. They haven't had a lot of trouble with it, but occasionally they run into somebody, you probably remember them discussing that place in Koshkanon that fixes cars, and they won't even allow anybody in the building because they got engine blocks and everything else up in the rafters that aren't made to hold that, and it's going to cave in and whatever. So what he's recommending is for the towns to pass an ordinance so that we would enforce that, or our police department would enforce that if there's a fine.
I thought we had talked about that once before.
We
We don't have an ordinance?
We don't.
Okay.
We did talk about that once before,
Okay.
probably a year ago. Because Darrell's the guy that brought that up before, and I never did ever get a chance to talk to the chief in Cambridge about it,
Okay.
but I probably should. Because all the commercial properties in Oakland, they would be responsible for inspecting. We really don't have any commercial properties covered by Fort Atkinson.
Right. Okay.
Okay, correspondence, we got the court docket, and I think he did a P&L for us too. Maybe. Is there one in there?
There was one, yeah.
Okay.
I did it on the 16th.
Yeah, I picked mine up. I got it at
Yeah.
home. I didn't bring it along. And approval of disbursements.
I'll make a motion that we approve disbursements, beginning with debit for new checks on April 30th through and including electronic funds transfer 809-78208 in the aggregate amount of $181,471.61.
Thank you. Guys are too speedy.
I'll second.
Planning committee talks slower.
You second it?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve disbursements in the amount of $181,471.61. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Next meeting date, June 18th. Anything else we need to discuss before we adjourn? If not,
I'll give you this if you want to look at it. It's really,
oh, okay.
it's like